Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, it's okay. So, my name is Frederico Vilaranda. I'm Portuguese, 45 years old, living in Switzerland since 30 years now. And I started to work in this company 28 years ago. I left the school at 17 and started to work as a temporary guy in that company, in Romo in Switzerland. Small company, 45 people. Then basically I've done almost everything you can do in one organization. I worked in production, in logistics, purchasing, IT, finance, and finally as operations director of that company in Romo. And now since 2 years and a half, I'm in charge to roll out lean manufacturing across all group. I talk about Schoeller in a few moments. We have actually 13 plants. With the new one in Belgium, you have to go there, Alexander. I'm sorry. And next year I have to roll out as well lean manufacturing in another 4 warehouses in UK. So that means you are talking about 17 places across all the company. It's a huge work, but very, very interesting, and I still have fun after 2 years working on that position. So, I will start to introduce Schoeller Allibert, then we'll discuss about SAMS. I will let you know what SAMS means. Talk about the SAMS organization, the cooperations between plants, the improvement ideas as well, it's a funny part. Manufacturing performance impact, because of course lean manufacturing has a big impact in the performance of our plants. And road to the world-class competitiveness. This is our ultimate goal in terms of lean implementation. So about Schoeller Allibert. I'm talking about injection molding plastic. You are producing crates, piles, everything you can imagine is plastic, we produce it. It's a worldwide market leader in the returnable plastic packaging solutions. We are active in several sectors of the activities. More than 60 years experience, the largest R&D in the data industry, and service oriented. We are close to our customers, you discuss with them, you can build new products based on the specifications asked by our customers. It's a 360 degrees returnable plastic, because plastic, you can reuse it. So you produce plastic for the customers, and then you reuse that to create new plastic forms. So it's it's a large company, a little bit more. Oops, I'm sorry. More than 500 million euros turnover, approximately 2,000 employees across Europe and the US, basically. As I said before, 13 locations, 4 warehouses, and we have offices in more than 50 countries. The headquarters is in Amsterdam, since now 2 years. It's near the airport, that's fine for me, because it just took me 10 minutes from the airport. It's not the case with the plants. So every plants are in the middle of nowhere. And you can see that. We have now 13 plants. 12 in Europe, 1 in the US, in a nice place in Phoenix, very warm, close to the desert. So we are in UK, in Winsford, in France, in Gaillon, and Nurio, in Spain, in Murcia, and Palau, near Barcelona, in Romo, as I said before, in Switzerland, Germany, in Monheim and Schwerin. We are in the Holland, Allibert, Poland as well, Zabrze. The operations director is just there. We are in the ILM. It's a completely new factory. It's a nice one. What else? Riga as well, in Latvia. And we are also, as I said before, in US. So we have seven markets today. Automotive, agriculture, so you can see some pictures of our products. I'm sure you already seen that in the supermarkets and stuff like that. Retail, industrial manufacturing, food processing, beverage. Everybody knows the beverage, right? Yeah. And the pooling for the customers. It's one of the largest customers we have, called IFCO. We produce those grades almost in all the plants today. So our vision, convince the world to use plastic. Basically, it's quite simple. Also reduce the logistics costs, but that's important today in all the companies. And really create added value. So we are, as I said before, we are really close to the customers. We discuss a lot with them. In some markets, you can spend 2 years with the customer before you deliver the first grade. But when we have it for the next 100 years. Again, the 360 degrees, I told you just before. Analyze with the customer what is the best for him in terms of logistics, also in terms of design, because today everybody wants to have a nice grade, not just a grade. The quality of that as well, productions and the production and quality control. The marketing is very, very important in the plastic today as well. And of course, recycling. You reuse almost all the grades you are producing to reproduce new grades to the customer. Almost the same time, it's almost every time it's the same customer. So the customer just return the old grades and you regrind it and you send back new grades. So values, that's really important in terms of lean, because we are talking about standardization as well, organization across 30 plants. It's not an easy job. So you have to be sure everybody have the same values in the company. So teamwork, that's really important. It's everywhere the same. I can compare a company with a football team. You can have one Ronaldo and 10 guys like me. For sure you're not win. So everybody have to work together and feel part of the team in the company, in the entire company. Commitment. This is also really important because we are working every single day for the same goal. Of course, we are paid for that. We have our salary, but to keep our salary in the coming months, we have to perform. And if the company is performing, we keep our salaries. Open and sharing culture. Wow, that's a big topic. Because when you ask people from US to share best practices with the north of Germany, well, first of all you have to speak the same language and then open mind. And of course professional, as always in everything we do today in our life, even in private life, we should be the best of the best. So, why you need something? You have nice plastic grades, you have a nice company, green company, so you need something. So, because Schoeller Allibert is a result of a lot of mergers from last years. As I said, I work for this company since 28 years, and I started with Schoeller Plastics, then Schoeller Arca Systems, Schoeller, I forgot all the names. It's 5 or 6 different names in the last 20 years. So, what means no standardization across the group, right? Also different visions and values, different cultures, because we are in several countries. Even in Europe you can feel that, and also with the US. Different IT systems, different processes, so it's not so easy. In the end of the day, when you have to report the global overview of the company, well, it's a huge job. You need 10 guys behind Excel to consolidate all numbers, for example. And yeah, I remember when I was operations director in Romont, we have tried to implement Lean. So basically I received a book, 500 page, made from someone from the headquarters. And they said, hey, you have to apply that. Nice. I don't like to read, to be honest. 500 pages? Wow. Maybe 3 pictures in the first 3 pages. So I say, okay, nice. 500 pages, only pictures? That's for me. But I stopped it after a few months. And everybody stopped it. It was, yeah, a decision from the top to the bottom, just like that. So we failed, of course. So, and 3 years ago, someone from Schoeller Allibert contacted Alexandra and asked her to support the company to implement lean manufacturing. And you started in beginning of 2015, if I'm not wrong. And the first step was to define a name for lean. CDI is nice, but we'd like to have our own brand. So some guys worked together and said, okay, SAMS looks nice. So what means SAMS? SAMS means Schoeller Allibert Manufacturing Standards. When they proposed me the job, I said, okay, manufacturing, production, that will be nice. But it's more than that. It's more than manufacturing. It's across all the organization, including sales, CST, development, purchasing. Everybody's involved now in the lean implementation. And at the same time, we start to standardize the IT system. Because go in Spain, we have 2 factories but 2 IT systems. And someone have to consolidate that upstairs in Amsterdam. It's not so easy. So now every plant have the same IT system. But doesn't mean they have the same process. And we started as well to standardize the process. And that's a big deal. Because basically, beginning of this year, we had 13 standards. Because each one said, no, I have the standard. That's the standard for the whole group. No, sorry. So, yeah, it was big discussions. To put people working together and define only one standard. So involving people across all levels of the organization, that's really important. It's not enough to go to the CEO and say, hey guys, you have to standardize the plans. That makes sense. But I remember I had a workshop in Berlin with all the CST people. The people came there for the workshop and yeah, they don't know each other. And they are working together every single day. It's amazing. After this workshop, they improved a lot their KPIs just because they have started to work as a team. It was amazing to see that the progress in only a few months. So yes, all people should be involved in lean implementation. So as I said before, Schoeller Allibert manufacturing standards, everything is there. One picture. So approach in the 3 phases: people, progress, and organization, and the visual workplace. Nothing new for you guys. CDI basics. Main drivers. Stefan said that just before. Quality, speed, cost, safety, and people. And customer satisfaction focus. That's also really important. You need today to ask to the production people to be more focused on the customer. But it's not so easy. Because basically they say, yeah, my job is to produce grades. Yeah, grades for the customer. If the customer is not happy, you don't need to produce grades, right? So you lose your job. But it's also the same from a sales point of view. They want to have grades. Yeah, you can produce it. But if nobody knows the color the customer asking for, you cannot produce the grade. So you have to integrate all those guys together. And we organized for next year a workshop between operations and sales. Will be fun. Sure. Of course, you need some support to have success. CDI, of course, is more than a partner, it's part of the team. We are working together. I will show you later the organization I put in place for all group today. But of course, executive sponsor is really, really important. Because if the top management don't believe on that, don't start it. Because the people on the bottom will not follow that. And of course, ideas. It's also a very good point, and Stefan spent sometimes explaining ideas, and this is a huge source of improvements for the company. So, one day we start to implement Lean, and two regional directors said, okay, we can start as a pilot. You have started in UK and Spain. They was volunteer for that, and they started at the beginning of 2015. So they spent some months to start to implement MBUs. The methodology and the results was shared with the other plants in the end of the year, and then they come back to me, say again, we need someone to manage that and roll out to the other plants. Say, okay, let's do it. So we started to implement that lean manufacturing in the other plants in the beginning of 2016, and all the other, at this time was 9 plants. With the mini business unit, 5S problem solving, asset care, and value stream mapping, what is also a really important tool today in the factories in Schoeller Allibert. We appointed a SAMS manager in each plant. So yeah, I have a team now with 13 guys working together with me and CDI, supporting the business. The SAMS managers are a support inside the plant. He's not the guy who is implementing Lean in the plant, because this is the role of the leaders and the coaches, and that's really, really important. I always say to the plant managers, don't expect the SAMS manager will do your job. You are the leaders of the plant, you have coaches in the organization, and they have to run that in the plant. 2017 was it's a consideration year. It's also an important period of the implementation, because implement a mini business unit, it's funny. You have some charts involved, some graphs, we involve people. People start to understand what Lean means, and then one day we have to switch to the next level. And the next level is be focused on results, because everybody knows when you start to implement ideas, the first ideas we receive are really funny. Stefan said, yeah, I don't like the color. Okay, why? What is the impact in the EBITDA of the company? Okay, but let's put that on the list and let's do it. And during the time, the people just switch to another level, and they start to have ideas to improve the KPIs of the factories, and you can see that very, very fast. So yes, you have to spend time to register ideas. You have to spend time to realize those ideas, but be sure we'll get a lot of benefits after that. Internal coaching reviews started in 2017. So basically now I'm asking all the SAMS managers to visit other plants and perform the coaching reviews by themselves. And of course we have always CDI there just to check if everything is in the right direction. But doing that, to propose of that, it's also to give the opportunity to the SAMS managers to see other plants, to visit other plants, and discuss with the colleagues, not only with this local SAMS manager, but also with the people in production. And that will give him also some ideas to implement in his own factory. So, as I said, the SAMS organization, we have 13 plants, 4 additional warehouses next year in UK. That means 10 countries. In each factory you have people from everywhere. So a lot of different cultures. A lot of language as well. So it's funny when you go to Spain and you have to discuss with the people in the production. Yeah, sometimes English is not enough, so we have to speak a little bit Spanish. The same in Germany, in France, and everywhere, except in UK, they speak English. Helpful. But when you have to organize a workshop and put all those guys together, so you have to be careful about what you want to talk about. Because, as I said before as well, people should have open mindset. And it's funny for me to visit all those companies. If I go to one country and say, guys, this is the target, I would like to achieve that in 1 month. We'll be sure in 1 month we'll be ready. Maybe not on target, but it's finished. In other countries, we go there and they said, nice, we'll do that in 3 weeks. Okay, nice. And you go there 2 months later and nothing happened. So, what I'm saying is, you don't speak in the same way in Spain or in Germany or in UK or in US. So you have to be very flexible with the people and define the right way to discuss with them, to convince them what is really important. So, how we implement that in the plants? So we start always with a kick-off meeting on each plant. We have annual coaching reviews targets defined together with the regional directors and the operations directors in the plants. We have 3 coaching reviews per plant per year. As I said before, you have a local SAMS manager, and the results are shared in the common database. Everybody can see the results from other plants. It's transparent. We have a SharePoint website in the group. Everything is there. So everyone from the company could see what happens in the other plants. Skype calls every 2 weeks. On each Skype call, we have a leader of the call. Sometimes I cannot join the call because I'm in the flight. So the team will decide by themselves who should be the leader and discuss the point. And here, part of the time, sharing best practice problems you have in the plants, and they can help each other on that. Perfect cooperation and sharing between the team. I have to say I'm really proud about the team I have today. Really nice. Really nice guys, working together. Even if I'm not available to be in the call, they will have the call, and that's really important. Every 2 weeks they discuss together about some topics. We have normally 3 workshops per year, face-to-face workshops in one plant, and you have really fun during those workshops, and you work hard. And the results, I will show you later, are there. They started, as I said, to perform the coaching reviews in other plants. Some of them already done that, and next year we'll increase the number of audits made by the SAMS managers, because, as I said before, that will give us as well opportunities to see other plants and discuss with other people. So cooperation between plants, it's almost like that, very easy. Yeah, especially when you discuss with the people. Wow. So SLAs, it's very important in that point. SLAs is important in one plant, yeah, but between plants, that's really, really important. It's really powerful. I have a good example. Group purchasing. I had the kickoff beginning of this year with them, and I spent half an hour to convince him lean manufacturing is nice also for purchasing. Because he already always asking me, why me? Why purchasing? You don't need that. It's manufacturing. Okay. After 30 minutes, I convinced them, and he started to implement his own mini business unit. And I say, okay, let's see in 6 months what happens. Well, this guy showed me last week the list of SLAs he signed across the group. 31. 31 service level agreements across the group. So I said to him, you are a really important guy in the company. Because you have contacts with everybody. And now he's performing Sam's meeting every week with his team. And he sent me the minutes of the meeting. 2 pages. So it's really involved in the lean manufacturing. So sometimes takes takes time to convince the people, but when they are on board, don't stop it. Also for the CST, because customer service, we have 2 kinds of customer service, internal and external. And internal is basically customer service discussing between plants, because France buy some parts in South in Poland and or in UK, so they are in contact every single day. So here as well, service level agreements is really important. Best practice sharing, we have a kind of common database as well in SharePoint. Workshops, SAMs and the operations teams. Today we have also 3 workshops in operations, and part of this meeting is sharing best practices. We spend some time to discuss about the KPIs, yes, but part of the meeting is to share what you have done the best in my plant, and I want to share that with others, and others can pick up that and go on with this idea. We started as well an academy, Schoeller Allibert Academy. We started with the sales guys. What you want to do is to have our own academy for technical people, in that case sales, because it's also a very technical product, and also for the technical stuff. Well, running an injection molding machine in UK or in US or in Poland is the same. It's injection molded plastics. So we have really nice people across the group who can support others in other plants. We are moving some molds from one plant to another as well. So we have to involve all those technical people and put them speaking together. And what we have started to do this year in with the technical staff, it's an academy, it's like school. The guys have to go there, spend a week with some teachers, and in the end they will have diploma, okay, for the first level, and they cannot go to the second level before they achieve the first one. And that will be an internal academy. We started that at the beginning of the year. That will take some time because we are now looking at the people we have today and what is the level of each one. And then we start to teach them when it's needed. Goal alignment. Well, in one company, in one factory, the general director said, yeah, for this year, that's a target for our plant, but here we are talking about 13 plants. So basically the CEO said, I want to have it in the end of the year. And you have to roll out that across all the plants, all the regions. So that's really important as well, not only in the high level in the organization, but you should also inform the people in the shop floor about the targets of the company, because they have to know why They come to work every morning. And if you share that with them, they will be motivated to achieve the targets. Improvement ideas again. So we have a common database where we are registering everything and by categories as well. And at the headquarter level, they are really focused on ideas impacting the EBITDA. Of course, that's part of the game as well. And for that, we have a process in place. The SAMS manager is responsible to get all those improvement ideas together, put that in the SharePoint. Then the local controller should validate the savings together with the operations director. And then those savings will be reviewed by myself and the corporate controller, and will be reported every month by the operations director. I can tell you that could go really, really fast in terms of savings in one company. So you are talking about 13 plants, you can imagine. People commitment, yeah, of course, it's we need to have everybody on board. That's really, really important. And don't care about those people who are not involved since the first day. Don't push them. Put your focus on the people who are already on board and motivated, because sooner or later the others will follow. This is sometimes one error you are doing when we start implementation, is focus on those people who don't believe on the lean manufacturing, are not involved since the first day. Okay, here's the motivated guys, push them to go forward, and then the other ones will follow, that for sure. So improvement ideas, I have a short chart with ideas per plant here. The number of ideas is not the most important, it's really the quality of the ideas we have. The first ideas, when you start to implement that, the first ideas will be something like, can you change my office? I don't like the color and it's a very old office. Okay, if you are motivated tomorrow, I can do that today. I'll change it, and you have to accept that. But then, after a few months, the people have to go to the next step and work more in the processes, work more in the daily job they have, what they can do better tomorrow, what could be the savings for the company, and that's really important. So, more than 3,000 improvement ideas, one common database, I said before. The people should get the feedback, always, even if it's a stupid idea. Because, as I always say, if I got 3 stupid ideas, I can build a good ones. So please register every idea you get some from the people, because that's really important. And give feedback to them, it's also important, because otherwise they will just stop to give you ideas. Be sure. Sharing best practices. At the beginning, it's not so easy to implement that. Again, especially in some countries. But when they start to play with that and share the best ideas or the best practice they are proud to do that. They like it. And then they will start to do that every single day, in each meeting, in each call, in each mail. As I said, savings are reported and tracked in the monthly basis, because in the end of the day, the companies are spending money to implement lean manufacturing, right? Because you need money for that. In our case, we have 13 plants, 13 SAMS managers with a salary, myself, small one, and of course they want to see the impact in the results of the company, because that's part of the game today. Impressive impact in manufacturing performance. And when you start to implement the MBUs, and give the ownership of the results to the shift leaders, for example. They have to define their own targets. And Stefan explained that very well just before. So let them choose their own targets, because in our case, in now almost all companies, we have, for example, 4 shifts working in production. And be sure one shift will say, oh, my OE, I want to be at 82% in the end of the year. The other guy will not say 40%, because you want to follow his colleague as well. So maybe you say 80%, but that's fine. And then it's really important the role of the leaderships and coaches on that point, because every single day you have to coach your people and explain them what can be done to achieve the target, because at the beginning sometimes the people just don't know what they can do to improve OE. They don't know OE at all, right? So that's the reason why in our shift in production, for example, we are not talking about OE, talking downtimes, scraps. They know what means that, and performance, cycle time, and that's all. And you'll see after 2-3 months, they want to see the OE, but they already have, but they don't know. So it's just to show OE, and you put the percentage. It's really fun, and could go very, very fast, the improvements. So the impact, big reduction on downtimes. The numbers I will show you here, it's the numbers for 12 factories during the last years. We increased the availability for more than 25 points percentage. Yeah, it's a lot. Quality and performance is quite stable, and OE as well, 20 points in 2 years. It's amazing. We are talking about 12 plants. So you can see some graphs here. You can see in the downtimes, a big reduction on downtimes. Why? You have new machines? Yeah, some. But that's not the big reason. The reason is the machine is stopped. Nobody cares. Someone from maintenance will arrive in 1 hour, or maybe tomorrow, or next week. So nobody cares. But now the many business units are following that. And they want someone from maintenance right away on that machine. And you start to reduce those downtimes first. Another downtimes we had in the past is also mold changeover time. Okay, you have to change the mold. You have time. Just start the day at 8 o'clock, so we finish at 5, so you have time to change the mold. So now we have focused the people on that as well to increase the performance on the mold change. And it was a huge impact across all the group. Also, processes review. Your crates sometimes are in different components. So you have one machine running with one component, and the next one is stopped because it's waiting for the components from that machine. So that's a big reduction in downtimes across the group, and that's the result today. It's part of SAMS, yes. We have also, of course, new machines in some plants that will help us a lot as well in terms of efficiency. And also, we have a program today regarding injection molding machines where we want to change a lot of them, but also think about what kind of machine we really need in the plant. Because I've seen in some plants the machine is stopped because the molds are so big you cannot put the mold on the machine. But the machine is there. So that's the result of only, I would say, 2.5 years implementing lean across 12 factories in our group. So, and of course, that's the ultimate goal we want to reach. World-class KPIs. and we are not so far away, to be honest. So I'm really proud about the job done by the team, and also the support we have from the management. But of course, when the management see that, just want to support. So what's really important? People commitment. That's really, really important. You have to spend time on that, really. Best practice sharing, team spirit. That's the basis for everything. If you don't have a team, just forget. Facilitate improvement ideas from all levels of the organization. Yeah, CEO can have also ideas. So I can add it in the list, think about, and give him as feedback as well. That's important. Process standardization, reduce waste, improve communication. How important is communication in the organizations today? It's really important in one plant. Think about 12. They are not speaking the same language. That's really, really a big point. Improving the communication between MBOs through the SLAs, for example. That's really, really good. That will give you as well a good improvement. Goal alignment, and today SAMS is the way you are doing your job in Schoeller Allibert. Everybody is doing the same in the mini business units. 8 minutes meetings, multi-level meetings in of the month, share best practices, not only in manufacturing, but as you have seen, also in purchasing, and next year will be sales. Yeah. And CSTs are already on board since the beginning of this year as well. They just started. What is important, because everybody will be involved. So everybody knows SAMs in the group, believe me. Everybody call me Sam. I don't know why. Recognition, that's also important. Say to your people, good job. It's easy to say that. We have to say that every single day. Choose one and you say, good job. That's important to motivate people. And also Schoeller Allibert identification. I'm proud to work to this company today. Yeah, I'm working since 28 years, so I should be proud, otherwise. But I believe on that company in the near future, because, as I said, I've seen a lot of improvement since 2 years. And my job is just promote lean manufacturing. Nothing else. My guys, the SAMS managers, the operations managers, and the regional directors are responsible for those results, not me. I'm just here to promote that. That's all. Thank you.